Cartoon Lagoon, Behind the Ball. A celebration of the voices you know, but the faces you don't.
Chris Phillips.
Hi.
So nice to have you.
Nice to be here.
So, tell us a little bit about your background.
I love television and movies and loved cartoons and commercials. As a kid growing up, my mom would say, go to bed, and I'm like, one more commercial. And she'd say, what do you want to watch the commercials for? My son is an idiot. And then I was like, write her a check. I say, that's why, Mom. But I never let her forget that. But I was always, I loved everything about television and entertainment. And so I decided that I wanted to be an actor at an early age, and went to Emerson College, which I had never heard of before I went. I thought my guidance counselor was playing me for an idiot, saying, I think Emerson would be good for you. Like, why, is that school for boobs? But he said, no, it's a communications college, and it's very creative and all, and it really was. It was terrific. The people I met at college, I still work with and are best friends of, and go out with till this very day. So it was great, and that got me into doing comedy and doing audio bits, and in the comedy shows we would do, we would have a blackout, and while we were rearranging the set, and another buddy of mine, buddy Eddie Brill, and I would record these audio bits that would play during the blackout. So it was constant entertainment, and I got into radio doing that as well. But I had not really thought about voiceovers then until shortly after college. I was at a comedy club, and a girl I went to school with came up to me and said, Chris, I remember you used to do all those great character voices for all the stuff in the comedy shows. I've become a voiceover agent, and you should put a tape together and I'll send you out. So I thought, well, that sounds cool. And I knew a guy at a studio, so I wrote my very first reel, and I I decided to put a theme to it, so it was a radio dial turning. And you'd hear, and every time we'd stop in a station, it would be me doing a commercial.
Yes.
Hi there.
No.
It's me, Face.
I'm singing the yes-no opera. Yes, 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 yes. No, 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 no. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no.
Yes. Now, stay tuned for Little Bear. Next on Nick Jr.
One of them was a character for Nick Jr. called Face. He would come on as sort of an interstitial between programs, and
Between Dora and Blue's Clues.
And Blue's Clues, exactly. Gullah Gullah Island and a lot of things from way back when. And he was just literally a smiley face, like the have a nice day kind of face, 2 eyes and a mouth, and that was it. And he'd go, hi everybody, it's me, Face. For Nick Jr. And I don't know what other people did at the audition, but they wrote doot-dee-doo where the horn thing happened, and I just threw that in, and I think that kind of helped me get the gig.
Borrow it? You kids can have it.
Geez, I was in this movie, the Felix the Cat movie. I get a credit as Felix, but I was actually the professor, and I think one or two other little characters in there as well.
Felix's brain has finally left his head.
Disney's Doug for ABC, and that was exciting. It was an actual Saturday morning cartoon, a network cartoon, and I'd wake myself, that alarm went off so I could wake up and it's me! And I have a big bowl of cereal.
You were Roger Klotz?
Roger Klotz, and a lot of other characters, but the main one was Roger, and he had a green face and spoke way up in here. Hey, funny. And
He was Doug's bully.
He was Doug's bully, and he had a friend. He was a bully like Eddie Haskell was a bully. Like they were friends, but they were.
But he was kind of a jerk.
He was a jerk, yeah. And then he got into money. His mom fell into money, and so things worked out nicely for Raj. But he was a friend of his named Boomer, and he was a little slower. He had more of a voice like this. Okay, Roger, whatever you want to do. And there were twin shop teachers, and I was their voices, and there's various characters that came along.
And you were also on same studio for Disney Channel, PB&J Otter.
PB&J Otter. I was the father otter, Ernest. I was the famous character Munchie Beaver. How that got by the Disney censors, I'll never know.
You know why I gathered you all here today? 'Cause I'm rich. I'm filthy, stinking, R-I-C-K-H rich.
Bubble Guppies. I'm various characters on that. There's not one. Well, there's Mr. Grumpfish is sort of a reoccurring character. There was a character Clam, but whatever the episodes call for, on various characters. I'm actually the singing voice for one of the regular characters, Mr. Grouper.
Sun up to sundown, sing the farmer's song.
I was also on Beavis and Buttheads, the first batch of Beavis and Buttheads, and then they rebranded, they brought them back, and I was back in a bunch of those episodes.
Wow, who were you on Beavis and Butthead?
Again, different characters. I was an army recruiter, a sergeant. I was St. Peter. In the old ones, I was St. Peter, and when they would watch TV, there was a Gomer Pyle bit, and I was Gomer Pyle and Sergeant Carter. And they'd flip the channels, I'd be on a commercial, or Dick Clark or Ed McMahon.
Empathy. Empathy is when you feel what someone else is feeling. Do you understand?
You are playing the voice of Captain Cornelius Cartoon.
Yes.
In Cartoon Lagoon.
Proudly.
And, who is your inspiration for Captain Cartoon?
Ahoy! I'm Captain Cornelius C. Cartoon. If you're anything like me, you have heaps of gold just lying around your submarine.
I guess it sort of harkens back to just old voices and old cartoons. I had thought at one point that it was a little like this one captain on Beanie and Cecil, but then hearing his voice, it's not quite that, but it sort of stemmed from a little of that guy plus a little, I don't know, just started out I was going to be kind of maybe this kind of pirate captain, and then it made him a little goofier, and sort of this amalgamation of voices in my head. And then he came out.
For a mere 30 minutes a day, you can give a cartoon the attention it needs to be remembered by future generations.
Now, the other thing that you are is that kind of God voice on networks and commercials. So part of this Good Breakfast.
Right.
Nicktoons. You were the voice of Nicktoons.
Yeah, I was the voice of Nicktoons, the original voice of Cartoon Network. When I did Cartoon Network, for some reason they wanted me to do a voice like this. It was an older fellow sounding voice. Coming up next on the Cartoon Network.
Trix Yogurt, color, swirl.
In 2009, most recently, you are now the official voice of Boo Berry. And you took over a role that was established by the late and great Paul Frees, who we all know and love. How do you assume a role from someone else? How is that difficult to walk into a role that's already been established?
Well, it's like the Roger Klotz role had actually been established. Billy West had originally voiced him and Doug. So it's really imitating, and then once you've gotten the voice down, you have more leeway with a cartoon series because you have a chance to kind of grow and develop it a little more. So I worked on the impersonation first, and then I was able to kind of make the character a little more my own. I mean, it's written as it is, but you can add little things in there, your own touches.
Now, do you find that is there a process that you follow to try to imitate a voice? Is there some kind of mental exercise you have to access, or what do you do to be able to imitate someone's voice like a Xerox machine that you can do?
It's funny. It's a lot of times it's luck. If in your wheelhouse, your vocal range, I sometimes don't know I can do a certain person's voice until I do it, and then I'm amazed. Like, wow, I can do that guy. But I'll do it, and if it sounds right in my head, I think I've got it. But then I hear it on tape, and it may not always sound the same. So it's good to kind of work with a recorder to hear it back.
So do you do that when you work? Do you work out your voice? Do you try voices on tape and then?
I've done that. I'll walk around the house saying things in different voices. My neighbors, I think, are afraid of me because they think, who the hell is living in there? How many people are in that apartment?
Hello, my name is Boo. Let me finish. Booberry. My ghostly good blueberry-flavored cereal, Booberry, is part of this complete breakfast.
Well, it's actually pretty easy because it's Peter Lorre. You're doing Peter Lorre. And my memories of Booberry, it was originally Frankenberry and Chocula, Count Chocula, that came out. And when those cereals first came out, I'm old enough to have bought the original ones when they came out. And by the time Booberry came around, I didn't try Booberry for years after that.
But I've got blueberry-flavored marshmallows.
Hello out there in TV land, Booberry here. Count Chocula and Frankenberry think their cereal is the best, but it's not. Blueberry is. It's the most delicious and the scariest. See you later. Bye.